Well, my intro's not cooperating. Well, hello, everybody. We're live. Hello again. I'm so sorry. I tried my intro to play, and it was not wanting to play, so it was giving me a pain in the ear. So, but hello, everybody. Welcome to the show tonight. Episode number 6 of the CJ Harris Show. We are live on the Facebook. Also, we are live on YouTube. But we got a phone number. We want to hear from you. 1-346-314-0906. We want to hear from you. Or leave your comments in the box. We also want to hear when you guys leave your comments. We like that a lot. Got a really great show tonight for you. We got a phone number. We want to hear from you. First of all, we're going to hear from Jason Chappell around 15 after 8. Then we're going to hear from Dudley Hilton at 8:30. Ryan Lemons will join us at 9 o'clock. And then Camille is going to be with us at 9:30. My co-host tonight, honored to have him with me. He'll have to correct me. Living in Pennsylvania now. Is that right? Pennsylvania?
Yes, sir.
Is assistant coach at a Division III school he's going to talk a little bit about here in just a little bit. Former WYMT sports director, Mr. Wille Hope. Wille, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back on. It's been a couple months.
Yeah, I don't know if you've been keeping up with things around here. It's first 4 weeks of the football season has been off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's been pretty good.
Yeah. I've been trying to watch a little bit of sports overtime every Friday night, kind of keeping up with cancellations and all those different things. So I'm excited.
We done better this week in cancellations.
Mm-hmm.
We only had 8 when we've been averaging about 20. So that was pretty good. So that might be a telltale sign that maybe we're on the way of having release each week, maybe.
Yeah. Hopefully the numbers down there have been pretty crazy. I know Perry County's been pretty bad for the past couple weeks or so. The hope is that you can of course play out the full season, settle things on the field rather than, because of a cancellation or something like that.
Yeah, one good thing about this week was that most of your big games were played. None of your big-time games were canceled, so that was a good thing. I mean, you had some matchups that ended up being not so good, but overall, I think it was a pretty good week. I almost think right now that we're finding out who the best teams are. We're in the week 4. Some call this week 5. I call it week 5. Week 4 probably because we had that week 0. It's confusing. But, right now, just to me, I think Corbin is the best team in the entire mountains. I mean, they've got every piece that you need to win a state championship.
Yeah, so on the offense side of the ball, obviously, you got Seth Mills carrying the rock. You got Dakota Patterson and Trevion Longmire. You're loaded offensively, but that defense is really good too.
That was what was impressive the other night about the win over Pulaski County. Pulaski County's really good at home, and I mean they don't usually give up a lot of points at home. They gave up 46 to Corbin at home. That just tells me that Corbin for real, and they're not just for real in the mountains; they're for real in the state.
Yeah, being able to take down Franklin County last week in week 3, that's it's a huge statement for a Franklin County team who returns a lot of guys from a team that was 3 yards away, a couple yards away, if that, from the championship. So that, and then giving up 7 points to Franklin County, then coming back and giving up 6 points to Pulaski County. They're starting off firing on all cylinders. which is kind of what people expected, right? It's a Corbin team that came into the season with expectations. Outside of in Class 4, outside of Johnson Central and Boyle County, and you would throw Franklin County in there too. Corbin's right there. It sucks because they play on the half of the state in the 5-3 districts where you have Boyle, Corbin, and Johnson Central.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to hit the road
Yeah.
And play a tough game. That's the unfortunate part of it all.
I asked Courtney last week, and I couldn't get. Hopefully, Camille could answer my question. Courtney tried, but she wasn't for sure of the answer. How come that Combs has not been playing much quarterback for Corbin? We've seen more of the other kid playing.
I'm not sure. I don't know if that's a Tom Greer decision. I don't know if Combs is injured or not. Yeah. They just want to, make sure he's good to go.
I mean, he's a heck of a quarterback. You saw the year he had at Pineville, Whitley County before he came to Corbin.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the Mills kid's got a great arm.
Yeah.
But, I thought the Combs kid had a great arm too. So, I mean, hopefully Camille can answer that. Corey couldn't because she really didn't know the answer. She didn't want to give an answer that would be wrong. Mm-hmm. And, but Corbin, Johnson Central right now, without Coach Matney, we saw Saturday bits and pieces of they miss him. But his assistant coach has done a good job coaching Saturday. We'll hopefully we'll get an update on Coach Matney too. I know he's doing a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But they played a decent Illinois team and had to go to overtime to beat them. And you look at Johnson Central, I think what was their mind frame to win that game was big because with Coach Matney in the hospital, in the shape he's in, and they're worried about him. You would have thought maybe their mind frame wouldn't have been there, but they did a good job to pull out the win in overtime.
Yeah, I think that's one thing you can take out of a game like that. It's hard to come in and focus. But the good thing is that every time, maybe it was Team Florida, it was Cahokia. Every time they hit, Johnson Central hit back. And to see that resilience, that's something that Coach Matney has always talked about. In my time down there, he talked about that. He will continue to talk about that, just the resilience of his kids. And that was on display on Saturday to be able to come back and win that game in overtime. Now that you're going to miss him. You're going to miss his, just the presence of what he brings. You have obviously other great coaches on that sideline. But what Coach Matney brings to the table of that presence of a guy who's been there, been at the highest level multiple times, who's done it multiple times, obviously 5 straight years in the state championship game, two state titles. You're going to miss that. And so to have not even just the team, but a community to rally around him and come together and win that game, that's big. It's an important win, not so much for the record wise, because RPI wise, it doesn't mean a whole lot because it's an out of state team. Which is another thing that sucks for Johnson Central because nobody in the state wants to play them at all. So they're being forced to go out of state and play. But just to get that win is big for them because it gives them a sense of, okay, we're fighting for Coach Matney, but also we know that if he's not here, we can do this because you never know what's going to happen. Season is long, and of course, Coach Matney can come back and be on that sideline, but you may have to prepare to be without him for a couple more weeks. Couple months, probably
even longer, because the aftermath of this virus is dangerous, and it's going to take him a while to get back into just to walk. I mean, we've seen some people really struggle physically with this virus because they after they go to the hospital. So hopefully things will get better for him. I mentioned last week he's a legendary figure, not just in Johnson County, but all around the mountains in the state of Kentucky. And, I think not him being there shows that the boys are playing for him. They're playing for the community. And, they're a good football team. We knew how good they were, but I think they just showed me another level considering what's going on with Coach Matney. Overall, I thought the Mountain top 10 teams, Corbin won, Johnson Central won. Pikeville won, but they didn't win by a lot. But they played an Ohio team. It's pretty deep. They beat not Ashland. Beat
Wheelersburg, I believe, was it?
Yeah, 20-6. But that was down there in Ohio. So but I give Pikeville credit for going down there to play that game because they didn't want to. They did not want to sit around for 3 straight weeks without a game. And I understand not playing it eventually will get to you. Southwestern didn't play. Pulaski County, of course, lost to Corbin. North, wow, looked unbelievable at Shelby Valley. I thought Letcher, I don't know what happened to Hazard, but we'll get back to them in a little bit. But Letcher Central, you know, I don't know if the stage was too big for Letcher when they played Pikeville. They came back in a big way against Hazard. Middlesboro, easy victory. Williamsburg didn't play because their opponent didn't have enough players. And I can't believe I'm getting ready to say this. Belfry is 0-4. I would never have them numbers come out of my mouth because I was trying to remember. Me and a guy was talking at the Breathitt County game. I done the Prairie Central Breathitt County game on radio Friday night, filling in for Nathan, who was out. When was the last time Belfry has been 0 for the season? Starting off, I mean,
I want to say it was. I think Camille said it was 60s, 50s, somewhere around that area. So it's been what 60, 70 years. But the funny thing is, I don't think it. Not that he doesn't care, but in a way, I don't think Philip Haywood cares. I think he wants this is what's going to get that team to the next level. This is what's going to make them better.
He better be better this week.
Yeah,
because he's got Pikeville, and Pikeville will ring their bell. They don't care what record Belfry has.
Yeah.
It looks like, I don't know how their top 10 is going to wind up being. Belfry's not going to be in their top 10 this week unless they keep them in there just to have a top 10 showdown between Pikeville and Belfry. But I would expect they'll be out. Now, I'm campaigning hard for 2 teams to get in there this week. I would love to see Lawrence County, who's playing really good football right now, up to a 3-0 start, beat a really good Russell team. Russell's a good football team. And Prairie Central. I think Prairie Central is a really good football team. I think they're a lot better than what they get credit for. I watched them Friday night, and they've got 2 running backs that nobody's talking about. The Eldridge kid and the I forgot the other one. Both of them over 175 yards rushing. It's impressive.
Perry, look, a lot of people, not a lot. Some people wondered if Mark Dixon could do what he did at Perry. Wonder if he could translate what he did at Hazard to Perry Central. He has every single year they've gotten, or at least the 2 years under. Obviously, you could see immediate improvement last season, and this season, it was, I believe, Cade Miller, Kobe Eldridge.
Yeah, Miller. Thank you, Cade Miller.
Both with 5 touchdowns combined, close to 350 yards combined on the ground for both of them. They're 3-0. They beat Whitley County, Floyd Central, blanked Floyd Central at home, and then went to Breathitt County, a team that probably had a little bit of expectations coming into the season. Breathitt played some good teams. Played a good North Laurel team. Obviously, we see now lost to Dunbar. So not bad losses by any stretch of the imagination, but a Breathitt team who had expectations. Perry is one to look out for. It's with a lot of those teams, they play in that same district as Johnson Central. So that's always the tough thing. Even with Letcher Central, who has a good team, you play in the same district as a state powerhouse. That's the biggest thing with them. Lawrence County looks good. It will be interesting to see. I don't think they've beaten Belfry since, I believe it was 2002 season. Could this be the year? And that's the interesting thing always with Philip Haywood's teams is that it's not about winning weeks 1 through 10. It's really about winning once you get to the playoffs, once you get to the biggest stage, and really winning once you get to that district tournament time. So, or district time in their schedule, which is coming up soon. They're going to have to take on, I believe it's McGoffin County first. After they take the Pikeville, they got McGoffin, Floyd. They're off on a bye, and then the 15th of October they play Lawrence County and Pike Central. So that's really where he wants to focus on, is being prepared for those games. But like you said, they got to be ready, because Lawrence County has a good team, a team that that has got sick of losing them for the past 20 years. I would assume so.
We have Mr. Jason Chappell with us, coach at Pineville Mountain Lions. Coach, thank you for being with us.
Hey, I'm glad to be here. Good to see you guys.
It's good to see you. Legendary coach. Been many places, done a lot of good things. Got a good Pineville team, Coach. Even though that you took it over the chin a little bit Friday night, been playing really well.
We do have a good team, and Friday night we did take a loss, and we got better in a whole lot of ways coming out of our first two games. Fixed a lot of issues that we had. Even though we had won, we still had some issues, and I thought our defensive front played much better. We tackled well. Special teams are much better. All areas that we needed to grow in. And then this week we didn't play as well in the back end defensively. So that's what these non-district games are for. You're always going to try to grow, and unfortunately we weren't able to make enough plays to win. But we're going to grow from it. We'll be a better football team this coming week.
You are scoring a lot of points, and that's impressive because you got a really good offense. I watched you guys scrimmage against Hazard, and I was more pleased with the number of kids you had out, because you guys are a small school.
Yeah, we've got about 100 boys in our school, 9-12, and we're right at 40 kids, and so
that's awesome.
Yeah, we've had a really good response from kids, and pardon me, just trying to be good to kids and treat kids right, and make it a fun experience for them, because that's really, at the end of the day, that's what we're after. We want to win every time we play, like everybody else does. We want to prepare, and we want to work, and we want to do all those things that we're supposed to do. But at the end of the day, this is supposed to be a special time for these kids, these 4 years that they get, and we want to make sure it's a special experience for them. And I've had great buy-in from our parents and my administration. Our superintendent, Russell Thompson, is as good a person, as good of an administrator I've ever been around, in terms of supporting us and giving us everything that we've needed to try to be successful and make it special for these kids. So it's been really good so far, and but we still got a lot of work to do, and kids got a lot of work to do. And I'll be honest with you, I had kids wanting to practice when we got back Friday night from the game, and they were ready to go on the field Friday night. So got a great group, and they're hungry. They want some success here, and I think we're going to be a better football team going forward.
Last year you had a couple of running backs that everybody talked about, and coming into this year, they didn't know what type of football team they were going to be. And actually, when you took over, they knew there was going to be a little bit of a change in the offense. How have they been able to handle all that?
Well, I was here last year, CJ. So Scooby and Scooby Morris and Noah Caldwell are both phenomenal talents, and we've actually got two or three other kids that are really good runners as well. It's just hard to take carries from Scooby and Noah. John Beverly is a really talented runner. Sawyer Thompson's a really good runner. Landon King is junior, is a really good running back. And so we've got some other kids there that can run. It's hard to take very many carries away from Scooby and Noah. Our offense really is pretty much the same. We're playing with a freshman quarterback right now that, to this point, he had the big Hail Mary last week against Cumberland Gap, won at the end of the game. When coaching that kid and watching him, I don't feel like I've got a freshman quarterback. I've been blessed in my career to coach some really, really good ones. Talk about Al Holland Jr. and Ricky Boland and Luke Woods and Dylan Wilson at Whitley County, and has some phenomenal kids. Chase Roark in Middlesboro. I could go on. I've been blessed. They've made me a better coach than what I probably made them players. But this kid, I think he's got the potential to be the same type of player down the road, and he can hurt you with his arm. He's got great feet, and he's got super smart. He's got great leadership qualities, and Jason Nunley is going to be a special quarterback before he's done for sure.
I've seen Williamsburg play. I saw them. They played Leslie County, and they're a good football team. But that's the key game on your schedule as far as district play, because going in that they're the team that you're going to have to beat to be able to win the top seed if you want to be able to be in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, and Jerry does a great job at Williamsburg. They've got a system, and probably the thing I most admire about them, they've got a system that they coach, and you watch them week in, week out. They don't line up in something new all the time. They're not trying to trick people. They just coach their kids really well, and they execute it really well. And then they've got great players, so they do a great job developing them through their off-season program. They certainly offensively and defensively both. Von Hatcher, their defensive coordinator, they just do a great job over there coaching those kids. And you can watch their 5th and 6th grade team; they run the same offense defense. So those guys, I think Todd Mattingly's their middle school coach. They do a great job all the way down, and so we have a lot of respect for them. But honestly, for us, and what I've told everybody in terms of like goal setting and things, the most important game for us is the next one. We've got to have a great day at practice tomorrow. We got to, and I suspect that we will, based on our kids and knowing them. But we got to bounce back from Friday night and have a great day tomorrow, and have a great day Tuesday, and just right on down the line. Our thing is we never want to get too far ahead of ourselves. We will always want to focus on what's directly in front of us, and so. Most important game for us is this week, and we've got to be better this week than we were Friday night.
Of course, you mentioned Berea. You got them at home. Then you got open date, a possibility that you may pick up a game.
There's so much uncertainty right now with scheduling and reschedules, and this COVID stuff has been just so hard on everybody. We'll see what happens with that, but. As of right now, we do have Berea this Friday night at home.
And they're not a bad football team. They're not bad.
No, Frank Parks, the head coach there, does a great job. He was at Bryan Station for years and does a really good job. He's a really good guy, good friend of mine, and they do a good job coaching those guys. And he's trying to establish his culture and the way that they want to play there. And I've seen them. Obviously at this point, I've seen quite a bit of them, but. They've got some good players, and so they're going to present some problems for us. They throw it around really well and do some things, and that's honestly what hurt us this past week. So they're probably licking their chops, ready to get to us. So we got to improve, and we will though. We've got good kids and coachable kids that work hard and want to get better. So we'll hopefully we'll be as ready as we possibly can be Friday night.
Wille, you got any questions for Coach?
Coach, good to see you again.
Yeah, Willie, it's great seeing you too, man. I've not seen you in a while.
I know. I've been keeping up through the highlights and Twitter on Friday nights and things like that. I have more time to afford for those things, so it's nice to just sit back and observe more than be in the rush of it. But one question I have for you is just you look down in Bell County, you guys have 3 really solid teams there. 3 teams who can make runs in the playoffs and make a lot of noise, and teams that have done so in the past. Just talk about that level of football and how, we always talk about rivalries and things like that, but how that honestly pushes your program to be better when you see what Dudley's doing over at Bell County and what Coach French is doing down
there. Well, wow. I mean, you're sitting here in the same county with Dudley, Hilton, and Larry French coaching the 2 other teams, and
two really good coaches.
2 of the absolute best to ever do it, and I have a lot of respect for both of those guys as football coaches, and they are have proven for years and years. I don't even know how many years they've coached, but it's been a lot of them. I feel like I've been doing it a while, but they were probably coaching well before I ever got into high school as a player. So. And they are phenomenal. They probably, both of them have probably forgotten more football than I know. And it certainly, I think it pushes you because, all the kids know each other. All the kids they watch each other's games when we're off and different things. They come to our games. We've seen them at our games. And so, there's a sense of a little bit of competitiveness there that they're doing well. And so we want to do well. we pull for those teams as long as we're not playing them. We pull for them, and we want our area to do well. There's good football, a lot of good football players here, and there's I think having those two other programs in such close proximity, along with Knox Central and Travis McDaniel over there doing a great job. Along with those three, Knox is maybe 10 miles back to the west of us. So, there's good football players and they're having good seasons. And so I think that raises expectations a little bit, and it should. They're doing well, and we want to do well also. And I definitely think that is a unique deal, that there's a lot of good football down in this area.
Now, how tough is it? You talked about trying to focus week to week, and obviously, like now getting into coaching, I see, just just trying to focus on one thing at a time, one game at a time is as much as people see it as a cliche. It's important. Not getting ahead of yourself with a lot of things. Yeah. Obviously, your guys are looking forward to Williamsburg. That's a team that's going to be circling a lot. They're a good team. Made it to the semifinals last year. How do you keep them focused on, if we do all these things day-to-day process, it's hard to keep 14 and 18-year-olds attention. If we do all these things day-to-day process, we're going to get to that point. You trust the day-to-day.
Really, some days it's hard enough to keep them focused from drill to drill and period to period in practice. So, we know Williamsburg's a good team. We know they're a district opponent. But I'll tell you this, we also know that Eric Perry over Harlan does a great job. They scored 46 points the other night, beat Eastridge. Those guys over there, I mean, they do a phenomenal job coaching their kids. Mark Olson at Lynn Camp was one of my longtime assistants at Whitley County, and I know he probably knows more football than I do. He's a fantastic football coach. And so, there's just no weeks off. There's no off. I mean, I hope that we take care of the things we need to take care of, that when we get to Williamsburg, that game means a lot, but we've got to take care of the things prior to that for it to be a big game. If we don't, it won't be a big game. We don't win any more games from here till the time we play Williamsburg. Guess what? That game won't mean much. And so, that's the way we look at it. We just, like I said, we try to keep the kids focused on the task at hand. We try to give them so much information that they're trying to process for this week, and the game plan and things like that. We've just got to focus on now. And I don't know, maybe I probably don't always do a great job of that, but that's what we're trying to do. And we just got to, like I said, we won't worry about tomorrow, and then we'll worry about Tuesday after that, and trying to get ready for this Friday, and then we'll reset for the next week.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you very much for being on the show with us. But when you come back, I would love to have you back again.
Sure, CJ. Listen, me and CJ, how long have we known each other, CJ?
Long time. Yeah, I've known you since when you played at Prairie Central.
No, CJ, I've known you since I was 5 years old. When I was in elementary.
Oh yeah, I forget. When I was 5 years old, I was probably a little boy eating paste in kindergarten. Probably. I don't know.
I probably was too. But I've known CJ forever. I've known CJ since I can remember. So I'm glad to see you doing well. And like I said, appreciate you guys having me. And Wille, great to see you as well. So if you guys ever need anything from Pineville football, we'd be happy to help you any way that we can.
Well, Coach, you're awesome, unbelievable. We always appreciate you, and good luck to your team, and we'll see you down the road.
Absolutely. See you guys.
See you, Coach.
All right, thank you, Jason. Jason Chappell, Pineville head coach. Now we go from one coach to now a legendary coach. One of only two coaches to be having 400 wins in the state of Kentucky. With us right now, Mr. Dudley Hilton, the Bell County head coach. Coach, it is an honor to have you with us.
Well, I don't know what kind of show I'm on, but I'm glad to be here with you guys.
Well, we are tickled to death to have you on the show because, I've known you for a long time. I've watched you coach back in the 90s and 2000s when Tim Couch played, even when Greg Couch played. And, those days, you was a young coach and really knew what you were doing, and you still got it. You still got it today. I mean, you just keep on trucking, and The first thing I want to tell you is you've won 2 state championships, but I thought your Bourbon County championship was the most. I'm sorry, 3. I don't want to cheat you. Sorry. I thought your Bourbon
guys. I'm telling you, you don't get
sorry.
those things every day, okay?
but your Bourbon County your championship was the most impressive championship I've ever seen.
No,
I don't
disagree with you.
You disagree?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I loved it because I thought that was one of the best coaching jobs you did, because that was no 4 seed has ever won a state title. So I mean that was so impressive. But Coach, I know a lot of people's asked you this, and how did it feel to get 400 wins?
But I don't know. You know what the most important win is, don't you?
The next game.
The next game. So
yeah,
those 400 are gone. 401 now, but
yeah,
they're gone. I've really enjoyed it. The good Lord's blessed me. I've had good health. I would show you my scar right here, but I got that new old heart worked on, and it's let me coach, and good Lord's watched over me, and I've just been fortunate enough to have health. I think it takes health to get out here and coach. I think you got to work the kids. If you're not working them, if just talking about it, a lot of people puts on coaching shirts and say they're coaches, but you either got to get out there and work on be a coach or just go along and hope you can win a few games. But I chose long time ago. I wanted to win. I knew it was better on Saturday morning to get up as a winner than it was a loser. So I thought, well, if I work at it in it all, maybe who knows, I could win a lot of games. But when I'm not joking as far as what wins the most. The next one's the most important one to me. These kids, they want to win another one this year, and then after we win that one, we hope we'll win another one after that. But I've done that for 47 years, and I did it in the college business. I did it in high school, but it takes hard work. Anybody that thinks it don't, and I haven't been fortunate enough to be at some of these big name schools around. That's automatically has good kids coming every year. We have to make our athletes at schools I've been at, Breathitt and Bell County and Bourbon County and Taylor County. We have to make athletes. We're not fortunate enough to get those good athletes in. So that's what means a lot to me about winning 400 games is that I took over 4 programs that were really wasn't nobody else wanted their jobs, and so to get 400 wins it took a lot of hard work. I really worked my coaches hard. It's hard to work for me because I'm a very demanding guy. I want it done right. I take every one of my games important. It's not a district championship or a state championship or a rival game. All of my games are important, and people pays $5 to get in. You ought to give them a good day's work, and I feel like anybody come watch my football team knows that we'll play hard. Now, we don't win them all, but we have won 401 of them, that's for sure.
I love your quarterback. Your quarterback's a really good athlete. He's improved a lot this year, too. Last year, I think he was learning the process of quarterback. This year, I think he's really developed into a solid quarterback.
Well, he's probably the best basketball player in this region as far as
I agree.
Player.
I do agree.
And I'm high on that. When you have the best basketball player around, you don't want to throw him out to the wolves too quick. So we didn't throw him to the wolves last year because he's learning how to play. We didn't get to do a lot of 7-on-7 last year. That's kind of hurt him. And now this year we're kind of throwing him to the wolves. Knock on wood, I hope he don't get hurt and don't want him to get hurt. But he's playing with that drive to him because he is a senior and he is, like I said, I covered him up a little bit last year and tried to protect him because who wants to hurt the best basketball player in the region? I don't want to do that to him. So this year we're just kind of rolling the dice out there and turning him loose a little bit. And he has put on a good show the first 3 games.
I got a good win Friday night over Lincoln County. Lincoln County, not a bad football team. You played really well Friday night. You did some really good things. That was your Pride of the Mountain classic that you've had for the last couple of years. Talk about your win Friday night because that was a good win.
Well, we started off good. We ran the open kickoff back for a touchdown. A little freshman Gage Bauer did that. Then Dawson Woolham came in the second play when they had the ball, blindsided the quarterback and stripped the ball from him. We got the ball back, and Cam ran a good option play with Wille down the sideline, and we had them down 14-0 before they almost got off the bus. But again, we made things happen, but they were a nice team. I think the ratings had them about 12, 15 points better than us. So we was able to overcome that. They were a big football team too. And, in Bell County, every school we play are higher classes. We don't play nobody in the lower classes. So, again, we played 1 5A and 2 4A so far, and we got another 5A this week. So, we take pride in our schedule and who we play and how we get after people. And Lincoln County is a good game for us.
Yeah. Whitley County's not a bad football team. They're improving. They're getting better. And McCreary Central's getting better. The next two opponents that you have are road games. Talk about going on the road to playing at home. You guys at home are almost automatic. Going on the road, you guys have won a lot of games. But what's it take to be a good road team? I know.
Well, again, when you discipline yourself and you take all your games seriously, it don't matter if you go on the road or at home. Again, we take pride in who we are, and we feel like everybody plays their A game against us because we've had a name here for the last 25, 30 years in this part of the state that, everybody relates a lot of things with us because we have been so good. But we are the last team in the 13th region that's been to the state finals. We are the last 13th region that's ever won a state championship. So, we got a lot of pride to us. So when we go on a road, we go seriously. You won't hear a word on the bus. You won't hear a word in the dressing room. And again, it don't matter who we play. That's just my way of getting ready for the game because, again, we take all of our games seriously. We don't, I like to say we play it for funds, but we like getting up on the weekend and enjoy our weekend in Bell County. And so far, we've had a lot of good weekends. And we did it Breathitt County, and we did it Taylor County, and we did it Bourbon County. So, that's just the way I was brought up. And 47 years, I haven't changed nothing. It still takes 4 downs to get 10 yards, and 10 yards gives you a first down. So we still got that, and you still got to take it seriously. If you're not going to take it serious, then probably something else you need to get into because the kids deserves to really have that thumb put down on them and play hard and just take the game serious and be ready to play. Yeah,
like I said, I've known you for a long time, and your system is about as consistent as anybody. I love going to a game at Bell County. When I'm there, I know that I'm watching real football because the crowd gets you pumped up. They get you chill bumps. I mean, it's just exciting to watch a game on Log Mountain. But it's even more exciting when you get an opportunity to play there because, tradition. And that's what you guys are, tradition. Talk about your tradition a little bit because your son, who's a really great player when he played, is now an assistant coach with you. And how's that feel to coach, help me with your son and coach?
Well, I didn't pay much attention to him when he played for him, and I don't pay much attention to him when he coached. But he does. He's got a motor with him. And he brings a lot of excitement to our team. He's all hype, and of course he's younger than I am. He can do the jumping and the carrying on down the sideline, but he brings a lot of motivation to us. And he's he does a good job. He did for me when he played, and he did for me at the college level, and he has now with coaching. But like I said, he does his job, and I sometimes put my thumb down on him, but I make all my coaches coach. Like I said, we don't put on a coaching shirt and just act like we're coaches. But tradition, he brought a lot of tradition here. I think when he played out of his 56 high school games, I think he lost 4 of them. And those 4 was to Alcoa, who won the state championship. Boyle County won 2 state championships, has 3 wins, and Lexington Catholic won the one with the good running back they had split in that played pro. What was his name? Played at Kentucky. The good he went on and played for Oakland out there. Played at Lexington Catholic.
Willie, you're jump in there, Willie. I know you know this.
Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie. But anyway,
don't let us down, Willie. That's why we got you on here.
Fastest guy in the world. I always said he come off the edge, and he was just a heck of a football player. So, but it's not all about my son too, because in the early '90s and or late '80s, we had a heck of a football team. We got beat in '90 by Ashland in a tear-jerking game that they went on, won state championship. Next year we come back and won one. But we've had, I don't know how many different regional championships, district championships, and we've just brought a lot of tradition to us. But it hadn't been easy. It's been a lot of hard work, and we've had a lot of kids who contribute. We've never had to Mr. Football. We don't have many All-Americans and All-State because we're not an individual team. We don't blow up individual players. I've had some players on this team that broke every record in the state of Kentucky, but we wasn't out to build up one kid. We've been out to build up Bell County, and I think we've done a good job at that. Just building up a program, and like I said, usually when we blow somebody out 55 to 60 to nothing, we have 10 or 12 different people that scores. We don't go into it just to let one kid score all the points and do that. So that's kind of hurt us not being able to build up some kids. But again, we're making tradition here when we go and do that because we got a lot of kids want to be a part of our football program.
Willie, jump in there. I know you got some questions for Coach.
First, Winston Guy, Lexington.
Winston Guy, boys, we got to win.
Nice job. There you go. That a boy, Willie. I knew you'd get it.
Yeah, Lexington Catholic drafted in 2012 in the 6th round, played for the Seahawks, Jags, and the Colts. I had to come back to me. Had to do a little bit of research. But Coach, good to see you again. I miss coming out to Log Mountain and watching those games. Had a lot of fun down there. We had Jason Chappell on before, just talking about the football traditions right now in Bell County and just how every program is a program that can make a run deep into the playoffs this year, and especially for your players, that competitiveness, does that add a little bit of edge when you look around and see like, all right, Coach French is doing his thing down in Middlesboro and Coach Chappell has his Pineville guys playing well, and your guys, you see each other around the county, go to each other's games. Does that add a little bit of, we want to make sure, people know your players want to make sure, hey, we're the team that's going to make the deep run this year.
Yeah, well, like I said, we're in a county got three schools in it, and not too many counties around here got those, but we do as well as we can. We're with a county school in it, and there's a city schools in it, and they both guess got pretty good programs. I don't have time to look at them. I'm worried about my team too much, but we're just a good old plain hard-nosed team that's worked hard for our tradition, and I'm sure they have too.
Now you talked about scheduling a little bit. Obviously, you guys play higher class team. That's always been the case. Even when I was down there, you guys played last year, a Johnson Central team that was coming off of 5 straight championship appearances. Played Ashland Blazers, who ended up winning Class 3A. Talk about trying to bring that level of competition to Log Mountain or going out and playing them wherever, and how that helps you guys once you get into district play.
Well, we try to play a better schedule. Last year we got beat by Belfry, Ashland, and Johnson Central. You don't have to say nothing about those 3 teams. I dare anybody to try to put them on their schedule. So they were pretty good. But, we got enough competition. Rockcastle's got a good team down there. Coach Parkey's done a great job with their program down there. Of course, one of my former players, Jordan Markham, he's down in Estill County now, and he's brought Estill County back. And Fred Hoskins down there in Knox Central, he's done a good job with him, and he played me. That's my biggest problem right here. Most of these coaches out there either played for me or coached with me, and I haven't changed, so they know everything I do. And sometimes I think I ought to change what I do, but it's been too good to me. And like I said, I try to get a first down. I know how many yards I need, so I still do those things. So, but it's just that we've just working at our tradition and just trying to keep it all going. And Bell County, we're down a little bit. Our school system lost a lot of students in the last few years. The cold has really hurt our economy in our Bell County area. And, and you hate to see her, cost us a lot of jobs and everything. So we got a lot of people moving out of the mountains. But I'm a mountain man. I didn't start out to be one, but I married a Breathitt County girl, and we stayed in the mountains. We did go out for a little while, but she said the wind kept messing her hair up. She wanted to go back to the mountains. So CJ don't have to worry. Y'all don't have to worry.
No, I don't have to worry about hair. Yeah.
But anyway, no, we love the mountains, and the mountains football up here is got a lot of pride in it and got a lot of tradition, and we all work hard at it. We have to, because I don't think we're blessed with that many good talent football players as far as big time talent. But we do have a lot of whole hard-working boys that believes in working hard, and I guess that's why I really enjoyed coaching in this area.
Obviously, I remember when you took me in your office and you showed me all the teams that you would coach, picture from every single year, and all those things. Just over the course of those, I think it's 47 years now, 48 years now.
47 years.
I said, look, I still got you, Coach.
Yeah, there you go.
What's the one piece of, and this, I ask this selfishly, but also for other people out there wondering, what's the piece of advice you would give young coaches getting into coaching at any level for any sport?
Well, you better teach kids how to crawl before you make them walk, and then you better walk, and then you make them run. Then the game is not that hard if you just keep it simple and know what your goal is. Your goal's trying to win every game. That's not a bad goal. Don't get me wrong, but you better win one, and then worry about the second one when it comes. And we try to do things. We watch TV and think we can do this and think you do that. Well, first down is the best way in the world to run that clock. And if you can't get the first down, and if you're going 3 downs and punting, and then it's just hard. And you got to do what you were taught and what you know how to do. I can't rub off on you. What success I've had, I can't rub up against a young coach and say, get out there and win. He's got to learn from me or Philip Haywood or some of these guys who've been real successful. Now, we've got a lot of things that have been successful, but some of the old timers that played the hard-nosed football and did the simple things. And it's just building up kids. My biggest philosophy is I want to be good to you, Willie. And if I'm good to you, if I wash your uniform every day and clean your locker out and give you a Powerade every once in a while and go buy you ice cream cone, and then I think I can get you to go out there and play for me, Willie. And if I'm just going to fuss at you all the time and take you to the movies and be good to you as far as doing, and let you take the swimming party instead of being out there practicing football, then you don't need to be good to them that way. You need to be good to them by coaching them but do the little things that you can come in at halftime and get in your face, Willie, and say, by gosh, why can't you block that guy for me, Willie? After I wash all your clothes, after I bought you that hamburger, after I take you home, you won't even block that boy for me. And then I might make you feel a little bad, and you might go out there second half and take somebody's head off with it, But that's the trick of it. You've got to be able to have something you can jump on a kid about what you've done for them to make them play hard for you. My kids always played hard for me. I've had a lot of kids in the last few years left me and went to another school, but they didn't want to work at it. They didn't want to run the hill that we run up there to Bell High. They didn't want to do the sprint. They want to take off after the win. You can't take off after you win a game. So many teams get in the playoffs and they start buying T-shirts and they start eating steak dinners and they start, and they do that for 1 week because after the first week they get beaten, they're finished. Well, you don't be glad to be there. Bobby Keith taught me that. He just didn't want to win the regional championship. He wanted to go to the Sweet 16 and win the state championship. And you don't take them down there and party all night and think you're going to win the state championship. I've seen a lot of good basketball teams go to the Sweet 16. Just glad to be there. They didn't go to win it. They went down there and have a good time with their kid. Nobody don't remember who's been in the Sweet 16. They remember who wins it. Nobody don't remember who's been to the state finals or got close going to state championship. They remember who wins them. So you don't win them by buying them everything in the book and start bragging on things. So I think being a young coach, the win is good, but the next game is an important one, and you got to get ready for next year. You can't put all your marbles in this year's team. If coaches are not working a little bit for next year, then they're hurting. They're just they're going to blame it. Well, we're young and we don't have no experience. Well, the reason you don't have no experience is because you put all your marbles in this year and won about 4 or 5 games this year. You better be worrying about getting ready a little bit for next year. And I think I've always done that. Every school I ever left, I left Breathitt County. I left Mike Holcomb over there, one of the best football teams I ever had at Breathitt County. I left Tom Greer here at Bale County, one of the best football teams I ever had. I went to Bourbon County, and I left Chuck Williams, one of the best teams I ever had down in Bourbon County. I come back to Bale County, and I left Wayne Mills, one of the best football teams I ever had at Bale County. And even though I went to Pikeville, I left Al Holland, one of the heck of U-Pike football teams. So I'm proud that every school I left somebody else with a real football team. I haven't been that fortunate, Willie. I've always came back. When I came back to Bale County this year, 4 years ago, they had a losing record. That's the first losing record Bale County ever had. And, and we 2 years later, we're in the state championship against Belfry down there and playing their tails off, But that's why I always get ready. When I leave Bale County again, I'm gonna leave somebody a good football team. And if you're gonna be a coach for, just don't coach with blinders on and or you just coaching for this 1 year. Coach your whole program and try to get you a good football team. And I don't know what we can do this year, but I'll tell you one thing. When I won a state championship in Bourbon County, we was ranked number 16 in 3A. Out of the last 16, we was the last team in it. That team won the state championship. I think right now we're number 10. I told the kids the other day, I said, boys, number 10 could win the state championship as good as the 16. You got to get kids believing, and my kids believe they can play. I don't know if we're that good or that bad. I don't know, but I know one thing. We'll be ready to play every Friday night when we line up and play. And coaches got to do that. They can't live on success and on Friday night and don't worry about it till Monday. You better worry about it Saturday and Sunday and get ready for that next week.
Coach,
what?
This is one of the best interviews I've ever had. I promise. This is. I mean, seriously, because
CJ,
we've had a lot. I've had a lot of new coaches on here, but I've never had somebody really just tell us the philosophy of what really takes to be a good coach. Because a lot of people, you can tell the good coaches or the assistants that coached under you, because those coaches know the same philosophy as you. And I just think that you're one of the best in the state, and I hope you coach another 10 years because I enjoy watching you. That
makes me 83, CJ. You want me? They'll take me back to the rest home, I guess. I don't know. I know. Everybody wants to know, CJ, when I'm getting out of it. I have no idea. I enjoy doing what I do, and but it's getting harder. This COVID's been hard on our kids. It's really hurt our area up in here, and I'm sure all over Eastern Kentucky. And it's sad. I hate to see it, but it's made us a little soft all the way around. But hopefully we can overcome it. And again, we in the mountains, we need to take our football serious. It's something that we don't have much going on up here. Not talking about the area, but we do. We just need to take it serious and work our kids hard. The kids, they're starving for discipline. They starving for they want to they want to have success. So like I said, my biggest advice given anybody, boys, being good to them is not letting them sit around and laugh and giggle it up. Being good to them is getting out there and making them run up the hill and make them do things that will get them in shape. And that's been good to them, because ain't nobody else going to do it if you're not going out there and make them do it. Because we all want to be good to them by just letting them giggle and goof off out on practice and shoot up from the stands and things like that, instead of getting out there and working on your game.
Well, Coach, would you come back again? I would love to have you back on another episode.
It might cost you a pizza.
I believe I can get you a pizza. I believe I can take care of
my supper tonight, CJ, you and Willie, and y'all probably got a big pizza sitting right in front of you.
No, I've already had my supper a long time ago. So.
Well, but guys, I enjoyed. I could talk football with you all night long, and again, I don't get many calls because they think I take over the radio show, and I don't mean to.
Oh, you do great, Coach.
But I enjoy talking football because that's my life. I wouldn't be doing this, CJ, you and Willie, if it wasn't my life, and it is my life. And I've been blessed, and I could talk to you anytime you and Willie wants to talk to me. I know how to work this computer now, CJ.
There we go.
I've come a long way.
You have, Coach. Okay? Yep. Well, Coach, good luck to you Friday night against Whitley County, and good luck the rest of the season, and we'll holler at you pretty soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, boys.
Legendary Coach Dudley Hilton in Bell County. Great man. Great man there, Willie. He's awesome. He's a good coach. He's a great, not a good one, he's a great one.
Yep, always enjoyed going to Log Mountain, seeing him play. I went up there for a lot of their games during that state championship run back in 2019. Love talking to him. You talk to his players, and players might in the moment say something, coaches say something that's cliche, but when you really get to talking to players and hearing just the impact that a coach can make on a kid's life, it's special. It's special.
I am reminding Ryan, because he is a busy man. When Ryan Lemon says he needs to be reminded that he must be doing some of his other work that he does. I know he does builds man caves or sound person or something else. I don't know how he does that though, because I don't know how he finds time for that, because he's always on KSR radio all the time.
Yeah.
I wanted to we were talking about a minute ago about the top 10, but today, I don't know if you watched any of the NFL games. I watched a few of them. It was a good day of football. We saw some, let me find my notes here on that. I got the scores here. The late games were surprising. There's my late. Here are the scores from the day. Of course, the Buccaneers open up on Sunday night. They beat the Cowboys. That was a good ball game. That was a really good game. 31-29. Today it was the Cardinals just whipped the Titans. I know the Cardinals were pretty good, but Titans didn't really play well.
I didn't know they were that good. I don't know. That's tough, especially you think the Titans offense is going to come out clicking with adding Julio and all those things, and they did, and Arizona kind of took it to them a little bit.
They did. Chargers beat Washington 20-16. The Bengals got an opening win.
There you go.
Quarterback looked really good today. You could really tell that he wasn't favoring his knee or anything. So I thought he played well. But the Bengals won 27-24. Sam Darnold got a win over the Jets. That was impressive. 19-14. I bet he loved that.
Yeah.
Eagles looked impressive today. They killed the Falcons 32-6. The Falcons didn't get in the end zone. They didn't get close to the end zone. No. Is Ryan? Is he done? Does he not have it no more?
I don't know if it's Ryan. I mean, one of the issues with Falcons, they've never had a defense to match what that offense was at the height of heights. Obviously today it showed. Hurts obviously had a really good first, opening week, threw for 3 touchdowns, I think at 260-ish yards around there. But it's I don't know, they might go full rebuild, to be honest.
The Steelers, they came back to beat the Bills. Bills controlled that whole game till but the last 5 minutes, the Steelers just come from nowhere.
In Buffalo, too. In Buffalo.
I thought the Seahawks looked impressive today. They won 28-16. Really, that game was not really a game. I mean, Indianapolis scored I think maybe the 10-point game, but Seattle looked pretty good today.
Yeah. Russell Wilson is when you let him cook and you let him start getting in open space, and especially like you give him time to throw, he's going to beat you. But if you start letting him run around and escape, he's going to kill you. And I mean, that's what he does. That's what he did today.
The 49ers held on to beat the Lions. The Lions did a really good job in the fourth quarter. They were down 41-14 going in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And the Lions did a really good job coming back, but they come up a little short there. The late games, Texans blowed out the Jags 37-21. Big win for the Chiefs. They were down double digits in this game, but the Browns couldn't hold them off defensively, and Chiefs won 33-29.
Yeah.
Dolphins, big win at New England, 17-16. Didn't see Matt Jones's numbers, but they only had 16 points, so apparently he must not have had very good numbers.
Yeah. 281 and a touchdown.
Okay, not bad. Saints crushed. I mean, absolutely crushed the Packers, 38-3. And then game we just did a couple minutes ago, the Broncos finished off the Giants 27-13.
Yeah.
The night game. What's the Sunday night? Bears and who
going on right now? Bears and Rams going on right now.
Bears and Rams, and then the Monday night game is the Ravens and the Raiders.
Yep.
And I understand that is going to be Eli and Peyton doing the game on TV. Yep. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. Hopefully, we'll have Ryan Lemon here in just a little bit. I texted him. I reminded him, so I keep reminding him. And if he forgets about me, then I'm gonna have to remind him 20 more times. But eventually, he'll see my text and he'll go, oh, there I need to be. There's where I need to be. We're gonna have Camille at 9:30. She's excited. She's pumped. She said, "Oh, times." I said, well, yeah, definitely. When you and Willie's been together so long, it's definitely like old times.
Yeah.
Let's see. I was going to ask you about the Kentucky game last night. What do you think?
I think so. I saw the AP rankings come out this morning. They weren't ranked. I think they received 13 votes, if I'm correct. People will overreact a little bit to the final score. The biggest thing is, I think you make all those mistakes. You're up 21-7 going to the half. Rodriguez is on the doorstep and fumbles it. And instead of going to the half 21 at up 28-7 and pretty much putting Missouri away, because I don't think Missouri's coming back after really Kentucky dominated the entire first half. You go from that to then giving up a drive and making it 21-14. If they clean up mistakes, if Rodriguez walks that ball in like he normally does and makes it 28-7, game's over. And having both him, people will talk about Levis not having his, Levis had a party in week one against goodness gracious, can't remember who they played. But he lit him up. 4 touchdowns, most top 5 in passing yards in the SEC for week one. A bunch of recognition. People love the offense. But you got to understand, I mean, if it's working, if Rodriguez is going to run for 200 yards, there's no point in having Levis drop back. Mm-hmm. And you're sending him using the run game with Rodriguez, obviously Smoke coming in behind him, spelling him, and Kavasi Smoke is a heck of a running back too. But if Chris Rodriguez is unbelievable, you don't always have to drop back and throw, 30, 35 passes. It was no need when Rodriguez is controlling the game. I think it was, if I'm correct, he had 4 touchdowns, 205 yards, 206 yards, something like that. And And even the last one, he fumbled. He fumbled into the end zone.
I was driving back from wrestling, and he fumbled, and I went, quit doing that.
I know that, and that was their biggest issue, was shooting themselves in the foot. They don't shoot themselves in the foot, they probably won that game by 3-4 touchdowns. And that's the thing you focus on. And Stoops wasn't happy about the mistakes, of course, as he shouldn't be. They're going to be a team to reckon with in the East. If they can get these next 2 games against UT Chattanooga and going on the road at South Carolina, you might look at an October 2nd date at Kroger Field, possibly a top 25 matchup with Florida. That place is going to be loud. You might get an SEC network there. You might get I don't know what other games are that week. You might get a CBS time slot.
That's what I'm thinking. I think it might be a CBS game.
That is a prime time game. Now again, like I said, I don't know what the other games that week would be. I would have to check and see. But I mean, man, you would hard to imagine a game with 2 top 25 teams. Now you do have in the SEC, you got Georgia and Arkansas, which I wanted to mention.
Awesome yesterday against Texas. They killed them. They beat their brains in.
Texas got their introduction to the SEC. That it ain't gonna be fun.
No, not at all.
Arkansas put it on them. You got Georgia and Arkansas that week, and you also have Ole Miss and Alabama that week. I mean, it's SEC football. It's going to be a lot of good games, but you'd be hard pressed that they don't get that if Kentucky's in the top 25, which they should be if they take care of business. You could get a primetime game. You can get a 3:30 slot. You can get that 7 o'clock slot on ESPN, something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see because the East is Florida, Georgia, and then you're really looking around the East. I mean, Tennessee lost to Pitt at home.
Yeah. Pitt's pretty good.
Pitt picked up some votes in the AP poll as well after that win. But you're thinking, okay, they beat Missouri. They should beat South Carolina. Obviously, Vanderbilt has been struggling a lot, and they should beat Tennessee. And they have Tennessee coming to Kroger this year. So now that leaves you with Florida and Georgia, which if you can get those 2 wins in the East, that's huge. Now, not going to be easy. Georgia's defense is phenomenal. I don't know if you watched that opening week game with them against Clemson.
Yes, watch parts of it.
The Ugalele, I think is his last name. If I probably messed it up. But really good quarterback. We saw him filling for Trevor Lawrence last year and almost lead him to it. It really wasn't on him that they lost that game because he put up 40-something points. Really good quarterback. They held him down and held that offense down. That's going to be a great game. But you circled that Florida game on October 2nd. That's going to be a game to pay attention to if they're 4-0 going into that game.
You know what? They did last night. One of the announcers said they just need to go down and take care of business. You know, South Carolina, was it 2 years ago? Kentucky went down to South Carolina, and they were a big favorite. Oh, they were probably, 10, 15 points favorite, and got blitzed. I mean, they got absolutely drilled. I believe that was the same year they beat Florida.
It was the year after.
Florida? Okay.
They lost at Mississippi State and then at South Carolina. It was something like that where it was a game they shouldn't have lost.
No.
But that's when they lost they lost Terry early in the year, and then they lost Sawyer too. Or that's when Sawyer's shoulders started bothering him and all that stuff. All that stuff added together was like a perfect storm to lose to South Carolina. But what might help them, South Carolina has Georgia this coming week. That might help them out. Might help them out a little.
That would, you know, Georgia's a good football team, but I've seen Alabama, both Georgia play. I know they're going to play this year. They're going to play it down at Alabama, but can Georgia's defense really play with them?
That's a good question. Because no defense could do it last year, right? There was no defense who could play with that offense. And Bryce Young is still a young. He's a younger, getting his first reps and his quarterback. But I mean that offense. I mean they put up put Mercer away without, breaking a sweat, it seems like. And they put Miami away without breaking a sweat, it seemed like, too. Alabama's just been, for the past, outside of that LSU year with Burrow and that historic offense, they've been the cream of the crop. And it's funny because you've rewind 10 years, Alabama was beating LSU 9-6, winning games with defense. Fast forward, Saban's adjusted. Now they're putting up, 50 points a night against SEC defenses. I don't know. We always have this conversation about, is Alabama the best team in the country? You're going to take the field, all that stuff. Until you see it, until you see another team who can hang with them. And maybe Georgia does that, right? Maybe Georgia's defense comes and proves that they can do that. But as of right now, I don't see it. I don't see it.
Ole Miss and Arkansas so far have impressed me. And they're two Western Division teams. But they both got to go to Alabama. They both got to travel to Alabama this year. But you think they can play with Alabama?
Not at Alabama. If they're at home, it's a different story. If you can get them that year where you get them at home, going to Alabama, I don't know. That's good. That's a tough ask. Arkansas is a good team. I really like them in the win over Texas. And I wish I would have picked Arkansas because I should have known that Texas was going to do this. But both those teams having to go to Alabama is going to hurt them, I think.
Well, Mr. Ryan Lemon has gotten busy on me, I think. So we may have to get him next week. Okay. So we got Camille still to come in about 20 minutes. But we're doing good. We missed Mr. Ryan, but we'll hopefully get him on. Maybe he may still come on before we get off the air. I have left him reminders. So if I had his phone number, I'd just call him. So I don't have it. I need it. I need to get them digits. Need to get them digits. You got to have them.
Yeah.
You look at if Kentucky can get to 4-0 and go play Florida at home, what's the one thing that they got to really clean up if they're going to beat a Florida?
Turnovers. I think that's the biggest thing is, and two, even in that win against whoever Kentucky, and for a reason I'm not.
Monroe.
Against Louisiana Monroe. The mistakes, like Levis taking a couple sacks that he didn't need to take, getting the ball out of her hands, throwing it away, whatever it is. He's obviously got the athleticism to get out of the pocket, throw the ball away. Against Missouri, it was the fumbles, it was penalties, it was different things like that. You just got to clean that stuff up in order to be able to compete with Florida. Now, we've seen it when they beat them down there in 2018, 2019 when they had the game in hand and it was mistakes down the stretch that hurt them in that fourth quarter. They're fully capable. In fact, these past 3, 4, 5 years, you go back to when they made mistakes again and lost to Florida at home or at Florida. That's what's going to save it, is cleaning up that stuff because they have the offensive capabilities to do it. They've got the weapons. Wan'Dale Robinson has been fantastic.
Another 100-yard game last night.
Yeah,
only the second time since Craig East that they've had a receiver go for 100 yard per game, and that's impressive.
And you got Rodriguez, you got Smoke to come in behind him, you got Robinson, you got Ali, you got you've always had the tight ends who have been good. You got the quarterback with the arm now. You got the offensive coordinator who runs the offense that is gonna bring people in. That's gonna keep everybody involved. You've always had the defense. Your defense has been solid for the past 4 or 5 years. Offensive line, Big Blue Wall has always been solid. They were solid again because Rodriguez was running all over Missouri. Cleaning up those mistakes, the consistency piece that a lot of coaches talk about. It's not that we know you can do it. We know you can go out every single night and dominate, but it's being consistent enough to go out every single night, every single play and dominate. Hold onto the ball every single time, even though you're running all over guys, making sure you finish off drives. Because we'd be having a whole different conversation if they go on to win by 3 touchdowns against Missouri and it's not close versus having to grind it out. Now, it's good they grinded it out and got the win and not grinded it out and ended up losing that game because of the mistakes. Because it's better to win and lose or win and learn than it is to lose and learn, for sure. Even though coaches will be upset, it's better to see that tick going in the W column. But they clean up those mistakes, and I think they can beat Florida.
Before we go any further, I want you to let everybody know about what you're doing now, because I know we've spent so much time on some other topics. Let's talk about you a little bit. What have you been into? Tell us what you've been doing.
Yeah, so for the past, I started grad school this summer, and then I also I've been in the office for my graduate assistant position. So I'm assistant coach for the men's basketball team at Messiah University, which is where I played and graduated from in 2018. So I've been doing all the tasks, making sure guys are good, recruiting, all the different stuff that comes with coaching. And then also been taking classes. So I've been back in school, written a couple papers, which isn't my favorite, but it's part of the.
Only nobody likes writing a paper.
Yeah, so but it's been good. I always love the sports side of things. I love being in the gym.
Well, Nolan, my good friend, our good friend of the show, he says all your games are in PA except for a road trip to Roanoke.
Yep.
He says the gym is looking good in pictures.
Oh,
so tell us a little bit about this team you're coaching, because we don't know much about Division III basketball, because we know Division I, Division II, but we don't hear a lot about Division III.
Yeah, and that's to me, that's always the sad thing when everybody's scholarship or bust type level, without realizing. You look at some of these D3 teams who are national champions, even when you get to the Sweet 16, and those are teams that are fully well capable of competing with some Division I teams and even some Division II teams. So that you look at our team, I mean, good team this year. We got a kid who's coming back for his 5th year, all conference level player for us. Was second team all conference last year, and then we got another big guy who's come back for his 5th year. Play really well to end the season, finish the season off 4-1. Really excited about our team this year. Some younger guards coming up who are going to be good for us. But Division III basketball is huge in that region, from Pennsylvania, from Virginia, Northern Virginia, and those ODAC schools, Randolph-Macon and Lynchburg. You go all the way up to New Hampshire and New England area, and Williams College. You go out to Wisconsin, and they've got Oshkosh and all these different schools who are Midwest is another haven for Division III basketball. It's high level basketball. If the people who actually watch it know Division III basketball, man, it's entertaining. You got some high level guys, some guys who end up going and playing overseas and different things like that. But our guys, we're excited. And he talked about the pictures of the gym. That's actually that's 4 or 5 years old. That was done in 2017. So 4 years old, but beautiful new gymnasium, beautiful new facilities, locker room, practice courts. They redid the pool, redid the fitness center, put locker rooms in for all some of the teams. So we're excited about this year. The goal is always to win a conference championship. And that's something we feel like we can do. So,
well, now that you're there, you got Kentucky ties. Will we ever see your team come play at Kentucky school?
I know Transylvania's down there, and I know Transylvania has a good team too. They're always at the top of that conference. Center, another good program. So I have to convince Coach to get on down there a little bit, see some of those teams. This is good competition. Yeah.
I would love. Just let me know if that happens. I would love to go watch the game, because that would be awesome. I know coaching's been one of your dreams, but how do you find time to still keep an eye on us? I know being an assistant coach, you have a lot of duties. You got COVID and grades and all this and that. But how do you keep up time to keep up with us?
I mean, Friday nights, I obviously have them a little bit more free now. Now that I switch careers, so I'll tune in and watch Game of the Week. Got a chance to peek in a couple weeks ago. Was that Pikeville Letcher Central game? So got to peek at that for a little bit. Being able to watch a little bit of sports overtime, even if it's on Saturday morning. Trying to keep up. I still try to keep in contact with Camille and even with John and Courtney. Down there as they're getting that first real taste of mountain football. But I think it's just I love the connection so much that you can still watch and you still see the coaches out there and honestly still see the kids out there rooting for them, wanting them to do well, wanting 4 state championships to come back to the mountains again, like it did in 2019. Yeah. or coaches you've got the chance to talk with and just eat with, or sit in the gym or sitting out on the field and watch practices and different things like that. So it's become, even though it's not, my job anymore, it's become a little bit of priority to at least, check in and see how teams are doing in the mountains. Because it's just important, man. It's 3 years of your life is a longer time than you think, especially when you're only, 21 going down there. Yeah.
Jeff Archer, when John was on the show a couple weeks ago, Jeff Archer was my co-host, and John got a first-hand instructional manual from him on how you do at WYMT. Then we let him off the hook his second visit, and then Courtney did really well last week. I think both of them are going to be. I think are going to fit in really well there because they seem to have good attitudes. They're really kind. They're nice. They understand the game, and with Camille's leadership, I think the 3 can be an outstanding group.
Oh yeah. I got a chance to work with Courtney for a couple weeks, and she has the commitment. I know she's going to be really good. I really do, and I told her that. I was like, even though it's only been 2 weeks, I know she's going to be really good. And obviously, John bringing his experience in from being at WSAZ, getting a chance to cover, they cover 3 different states. So that's a whole nother element. And him being a little bit familiar with some of those 15th region teams already is good because it brings a sense of familiarity already to the picture. But they're always going to be good. I think the nice thing about WIT is there's always been good sports people. And the biggest thing is just caring about the mountains, caring about the kids you cover and the coaches you cover, and knowing the history of the coaches and knowing the history of the football program or the basketball program. Or we've had, last year we had soccer programs go far, knowing the history of that, or volleyball, whatever it is. But it's leaning into that passion that honestly, not a lot of places have that passion for their communities the same way that it is in Eastern Kentucky. It's never a level I've seen matched quite like Eastern Kentucky. And I think that's the cool thing about it. I think there are 3 people who are going to obviously working with Camille, but John and Courtney are going to lean into that passion.
Yeah, I think they've done a phenomenal job so far. Camille got her first real good taste of what football is about, because where crowds are about and everybody this and that. I think she really embraced it and really doing a great job. But the other 2, they've done a great job too, because they're embracing it more, because they understand what high school football is around here. I mean, it's a monster. I mean, people come out. I have seen full houses in about every field that I've went to or game on TV I've seen. I mean, they're coming back and they're glad to be there.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't get a chance to have those full houses at some of these, and even then, people were pulling up in trucks and watching from outside or whatever it may be. I vividly remember that a couple times last year, people pulling up outside and sitting on top of the trucks or whatever it may be, but just the culture and the environment of loving your community in that way, and just wanting to be out there. So of course this year, people are going to be out if they can be in the stands, and it just adds so much to the games. the roar of the crowd. And especially with, we see it in basketball because basketball is an indoor sport. So that sound bounces off, bounces off the walls and things like that. But even in football, man, being at games, at state championship games, obviously the 2019 year, being at some of those state championship games and without the crowd, I mean, that Johnson Central Boyle County game or that's the Somerset and Mayfield game, the added element of what the crowd and what the community brings and the passion that they bring. And especially in Eastern Kentucky, attendance was phenomenal that year at Kroger Field because you bring 6 schools from the eastern half of the state. And like I said, that passion and that community pride and love that they have for each other is just unmatched. And I love it. I love seeing the stands full, saying what's up to the student sections, all that different stuff. It's fun.
I am trying to read your shirt. 14th region.
Yeah, this is my 14th region
basketball award shirt. Yes. Okay. Yes, I have not seen that before. That's a nice shirt.
It is. This is one of the last things that the award show for the 14th region was probably one of the last things that I did down at Has. That was like about 2 weeks or a week before I left. Yeah. So yeah, I miss here. My cat is of course bothering me at the worst possible time. So let me take care of.
Let it go roam in the living room.
Yep.
We have a cat too here. We love it. It's roaming around here somewhere unless it's with the bed. Sometimes it sleeps more than it roams around. So
yeah,
but he's a good cat. He's got 3 places in the living room he likes to lay. So we should have Camille in about 4 minutes. I do apologize to the phone line. I just realized that it wasn't working because the internet had kicked a moment ago, and I do have a dial tone now. So I know Ryan tried to call. I do apologize, Ryan, for you not getting through. So he might try again. If not, we'll get Ryan. He'll probably call next week. But I do apologize. I do have a ringtone now, so the internet's working better. So I have been over there looking at that and then noticing that the phone line keeps telling me that, but now it seems to be working. So if you want to give us a phone call, we'll take your phone call. I've lost my notes here. Let me get the number. 1-346-314-0906. Give us a phone call if you want to. Leave your comments. You guys are watching out there. Leave us your comments. We want to hear what you got to say. We got Camille coming on here in about 3 minutes. But looking forward to speaking with her. I know Willie's probably looking forward to seeing her. We got a lot to go over. I'm going to campaign for a couple of teams. Like I said, I'm going to Perry Central and Lawrence County to get in the top 10. I know we both do top 10s. Now, my top 10 this week was a little bit different from theirs. I did have Corbin number 1. I had Johnson Central 2, Southwestern 3, Pikeville 4, North 5, Middlesboro 6, Perry 7th, Winsburg 8, Pulaski County 9th, and Shelby Valley 10th. So I've got 2 teams that's probably going to fall out. So that doesn't mean that they could go into my top 10. They could, or they could not. You have to wait and see on Wednesday night when I do my picks.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, Belfry's probably going to fall out. Winsburg didn't play. Middlesboro 1, Letcher 1, North 1. Pulaski County, I don't think they'll drop out, but they'll probably go to about 9 or 10. They might. 10's probably where I think they'll go.
Yeah.
Southwestern didn't play. Pikeville, Johnson Central, Corbin all won. So they really only have room for 1 team unless they drop both Pulaski and Belfry. And then they can take 2. So they need, they're going to probably put 1 new one in there.
Yeah, dropping Pulaski all the way out is tough. I mean, and like that's the hard thing to balance, right? Is the strength of schedule piece in there, because obviously Pulaski losing to Lexington Catholic by 2 on the road, losing at Boyle, and losing against Corbin, 3 teams who you're going to see deep into November, maybe in December. So those aren't bad. And even you look at Belfry now, it's gonna be tough to keep a team that's 0-3, 0-4 in there. Losing to Pulaski County, Covenant Catholic, a team that's always playing in November, and then losing to Central, especially with the emotions around that day at Central too, with them honoring Coach Scroggins and just all he did and all he meant to that program. And Central, of course, always takes you back to those battles and state championships with Central and Belfry, and just how great both of those programs have been. But it's going to be interesting. I mean, both Perry Central and Lawrence County have made great statements. Like you said, Lawrence County beating a good Russell team that even last year took Ashland down to the wire in that district championship game. Of course, Ashland goes on to win the state championship. And then even Perry Central, a Breathitt County team that has, and I feel like still has expectations moving forward.
Well, I do have an update on Braxton O'Hare. He got hurt Friday night. I talked with John Noble. They did do X-rays. They were negative. X-rays can't really tell more about his knee. I do understand he's going to be having tests tomorrow to find out if there's what's wrong. Of course, he got hurt in the second quarter the other night, and that was his first game back. And that was a big blow because they could use Braxton. So hopefully he's not hurt. Hopefully he's not hurt too bad. If he is hurt, he'll be out for a little bit. But hopefully he'll be out too long because they really need him. Because I thought when he left the game, they had a really problem running the football. And then Jalen had to, run for his life because Perry Central was really getting after him on defense. Perry Central's got about 5 or 6 kids that can really play well on defense. So, but it was a good football game. I enjoyed myself. One game, I hadn't seen neither team, but watching them live, it was just, you get a feeling that I've seen Middlesboro. Middlesboro and Breathitt supposed to play each other here in about a couple weeks. That's going to be a really different game from what it has been in the past. So, Camille is late, and that's not like her. So hopefully she'll come on in just a little bit. Let's look at the schedule for this week. We got some pretty decent games, as I said. What I'm more concerned was caught my eye was some of the statewide games. You got Covington Catholic going to play Beechwood. We're going to go on the mountain for a minute. So we're going to statewide because we've got some really good games.
Yeah.
You got Covington Catholic playing Beechwood. This game's at Beechwood. This is going to be a really good game to test Catholic. Are they for real or are they just pretenders?
Yeah.
Bowling Green's going to travel to Boyle County. Now, this is going to be a high octane game. This will be physical. This will be messy. This will be a lot of things. The Battle of Lexington Catholic and Lexington Christian. Now, Catholic won last year, right? Or did LCA win?
I think Christian won last year.
Okay, all right. Well, this game's at Catholic, so that is going to be another slobber knocker. But here's the slobber knocker: 0-4 Trinity at Fort O'Male. Now, Trinity did not play 4 schools that won 4 state championships for nothing. And we're going to find out just how good Male is, because this is why Trinity played those first 4 games for a reason. We'll get back to that in just a moment, because you're late. You're late. You're late. Tardiness.
There you go.
It's funny because I legit was like, oh, I'm going to get on early. Like, it was like 9:15. And then I got distracted.
It's terrible. Really terrible.
I told Wille you might have got sidetracked or something. I said, you for her being late because she's usually on 8 or 9:28. And I looked down, she's already in the box.
I know. I normally set an alarm, but literally I watched you guys on Facebook for a second. I was like, oh, I'll go ahead and hop on. And then completely forgot about it for about 5 minutes.
You want to can you turn yourself up a little bit?
I was like, I knew there was something I was supposed to be doing. What was it? There you go.
Can you turn yourself up a little bit? You're low.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes. You're just a little low. I just make sure we hear every word you got to say. We can't miss a word.
Yeah, you know me.
First of all, I want to ask you a question. Courtney has messaged me already. She wants to be you and her be together next week to do this. So you want? I told her that was a great idea. I love that idea. So will that be good for you?
Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, so you and Courtney are going to be my 9:30 people next week, both of you. Okay. So we'll get two different opinions. I like it.
Sounds good.
She does. By the way, both John and Courtney, they're doing a good job. Very polite, very kind. Their best of mountain football so far. Very impressive. The two nights John was on Courtney last week, really impressive. I was impressed with both of them.
Good.
Even though John's first night when he was here with Jeff Archer, he probably thought that was an interrogation, but I had to weed that out because Jeff was like on a 20-minute guide on how how you're supposed to work at YMT, and John was just soaking it in, just soaking. So
that sounds about right.
All right. Let's get to the scoreboard and we'll go into week 5 schedule because we was going over some of the statewide games. We wouldn't go over the mountain games. There's some unbelievable games out in the statewide games that are unbelievable this week. Give me your best win, your worst loss, and 2 teams that surprised you so far.
Best win. God,
in
CJ,
week 4.
You always put me on the spot.
Yes, I have to.
Okay, I think a really good win so far has been Middlesboro-Williamsburg. I did not think Middlesboro was going to beat Williamsburg. We had Williamsburg in our top 10, so I was really surprised that they beat them. That Caleb, however the heck you say his last name,
I can't say it. Nobody can say it.
I can't pronounce it. I just can't. It's like Bogonok, I think is how you spell it.
You do realize that I got to say his name in a couple weeks when they come to Hyden.
Yeah, so when you let me know how to pronounce it, you let me know.
I won't be able to pronounce it. It's going to take me probably till end of the game to get it right.
That's how we feel, trust me.
Yeah.
I had to pronounce it the other day, and I was like, Caleb, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce your last name. But I thought that was a really good win for them. Okay, so you said best win. So I'm going to go Middlesboro. I thought that was worst loss. Was that one?
Yeah.
That's tough. For me, honestly, probably Pulaski County against Boyle. I know Boyle just won a state championship, so I didn't necessarily expect them to win, but they got their butts kicked, and I didn't think they were going to lose that bad.
Do you feel like the loss to Boyle has hurt Pulaski's confidence now because Corbin just put their thumb down on them and crushed them, and I feel like they have no confidence right now.
This is something Wille can attest to. We've talked for the last 3 years that Pulaski County, the key to their success is keep Drew Polston healthy. That's all they got to do is keep him healthy, and they can't do it. 3 seasons in a row he's gotten injured, and I don't know if the kid's just a little injury prone or just needs to put some weight on. Last time I saw Drew, he looked fine, and it's not like he's skinny, so I don't know what the deal is, but I know that he got hurt during that Boyle game, so he didn't play the whole second half, which is part of the reason why the loss was so big. I don't know if he played against Corbin. I wasn't there, but he's got to stay healthy, and that is their biggest freaking flaw, because when he is on, Pulaski is on, but when he is not playing, they are just off. So that would probably be mine. And then what was your other one?
Give me 2 teams that are surprising right now.
2 teams that are surprising me. I think Middlesboro again. They've done really well so far. North Laurel has surprised me so far too. They played great against Letcher. I saw them play against Valley, which I kind of expected. Another team that's kind of surprising me on the other end is I thought they would be better is Breathitt. They lost to Perry, which I saw. I think Nathan Little posted. They haven't beat
I did
Perry
that game.
Since
I done that game. I was on radio. I done that.
what was it? They haven't beat Perry since 2003, 2000 something crazy.
Yep. Well, now
so I saw Breathitt against North, and I didn't think they looked terrible, but Jalen didn't play. Apparently, he got hurt like 10 minutes before the game. I think he got like sick or something, so he didn't play. So I just kind of took it with a grain of salt because we don't have your starting quarterback. It's like everyone's off. So I was like, yeah, they lost against North, but I didn't think they looked terrible. And then when I saw they lost against Perry, I'm like, and Jalen played. I'm like, okay, what's going on, Kyle Moore? Like,
Braxton got hurt. He got hurt in the second quarter. Okay. That was big because when he was in there, they run the ball a lot better. I felt like when he went out, they can't run the football. They can't, not at all. They can't, and they couldn't even protect Jalen. Pretty Central was all over the field. I told Willie I was going to campaign for two teams. Prairie Central and Lawrence County, because I think right now they're the hottest two teams playing. Going. That win for Lawrence County is a monster win. You beat Russell, who I think Russell's a really good football team. You beat Russell, you caught my eye. I mean, if they got beat, I wouldn't, that's impressive.
I agree. We said that too. We were like, I think Anthony, I don't know if you've met Anthony, CJ, but he was like, Camille, you think Lawrence is the real deal? I said, if they beat Russell, they're going in my top 10. So, and they were in my top 10.
Willie,
there you go.
Me and Willie talked about that just a moment ago. We said, well, if I can just campaign for one of the two, because they'll probably have room for maybe one. Might have room for two. I don't know. But if we can get them in there, then I've done my job. But,
you did your job.
Are you going to penalize Pulaski? Because don't give me your top 10 because everybody needs to see it tomorrow night. But do they deserve to be penalized?
Well, I can give you mine because mine's not the end all be all. Here, hold on, let me pull it up.
But it's a pretty good idea.
I forgot number 9. Whenever I made it, Courtney texted me. It was like, "So Camille, you do realize 9 comes after 8, right?" And I was like, "Leave me alone." I did it like 3 o'clock in the morning. Clearly, I forgot how to count when I did it. Yeah. Okay, so this is just mine. This is not like the full everybody else's.
Tentative.
I had Corbin 1 still, JC 2, Pikeville still 3. I didn't want to move them up. I know that Wheelersburg win was a big win, but JC winning without Matney, to me, that still means more. 4 Southwestern, 5 North, 6 Letcher, 7 Middlesboro, 8 Williamsburg, 9, who I forgot, Pulaski County, and then 10 Lawrence. So I moved, I think they were 5, so I moved them down like 4 spots after they got beat by Corbin. So I moved them down pretty substantial.
Because I didn't know what you 4 were going to do with Bell. I thought you might try to leave Belfry in there because the Belfry-Pikeville game is it's the game of all games for the mountains, people want, but I didn't know if you're going to leave Belfry in there because to make it a top 10 showdown or, it's hard because I have never said these words in my life. 0-4 Belfry. Never. I don't think me and Willie said it was probably the 60s since the last time Belfry's been 0 for the season.
1955. Last time they won 3 or lost 3 in a row.
Wow.
And that's my thing. Like, let me be very clear.
And they played 3 good teams too. They played 3 good teams too. LCA, Central, and who was the other team?
Pulaski County.
Pulaski. Yeah, Pulaski. Yeah.
Pulaski was supposed to play LCA.
Do you feel like the Pulaski County game took a lot out of Belfry?
No, because they had that game last year. They knew what to expect for that. My thing is when I went and did their pigskin preview interview, and that's something me and Haywood talked about. They lost like 14 seniors. Brett Coleman, their starting quarterback. I mean, the list literally was just like a mile long of what they lost. And I kind of looked at him and I was like, you do realize that your schedule is crazy. Like the first 5 weeks of their schedule, I don't know if some people realize, like they had Pulaski, LCA, Central, Pikeville, and then who am I missing?
Covenant Catholic.
Yes, Cubcap. They had 5 weeks where when me and Isaac were talking, I was like, dude, this schedule. And he was like, you know what, Camille, it's going to suck. But like, you want to play with those people, then that's the level you want to be at. And that's what we've got to do. And I'm like, exactly. So, I mean, I will never count Philip Haywood out of anything, because if you don't bet on him, you're just freaking stupid. But they're a young team, and he knows that to be at that level that they want to be at, you've got to play those teams. So if that means starting 0-5, then that's what it means. So I guess we'll just see. We'll see.
I mean, 0-4. I mean, I understand that never have I ever heard that. I don't think I've ever seen a start Somerset, Breathitt, and Belfry 0-11. I can't feather that because those teams are all high quality teams and they won a game. Somerset, of the 3 teams, I think Somerset's having the most problems because they're the youngest of the 3. They're.
I feel so bad for Somerset. I really do. I was there on Friday and nothing was going right for them. I mean, and granted, Paintsville's kind of that situation where obviously they've got a new head coach. They've lost a lot, but they still returned the MVP of the state championship last year. You know, that's something. Somerset, I knew 2 kids on the roster. Josh Gross, when he played backup for Kaya, and Michael Hawkins, who's got like a gajillion D1 offers. Didn't tell you a single other kid. And they just look awful. I think they're so freaking young. It's just, when you lose Cade Grundy, Kaya Sharon, Andrew Johnson, there's not really a lot coming back from that, you know?
Yeah.
So, but even the coaches, they're like, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. I'm like, I hope you do.
Yeah, you better figure it out real quick.
Yeah.
The schedule this week. I mean, I'm not being mean, but there's only 2 games that are worth watching. Belfry and Pikeville and Corbin. No, I don't know much about that Maryland team, but them and Johnson Central probably. I can't find another game. Well, Bell and Whitley might be pretty good, but besides those 3, I can't. What's Bell Whitley's your game of the week?
Mm-hmm.
Paintsville and Knox Central might be a decent game.
Who?
Paintsville and Knox Central might be a decent game.
Paintsville, Knox Central. Could be. That's in Central.
Yes, that's Central.
Yeah.
Could be.
Could.
Depends on how well Paintsville traveled. Young team.
Yeah.
I thought Paintsville looked good against Somerset. That was the first time I had seen them play all year. And obviously they got shut against Beechwood. So they really weren't off to a hot start. But I thought they looked good against Somerset. I mean, they had their issues, but overall, I was like pleasantly surprised with how well they started. The first play of the game, freaking Harris Phelps had like a 40-yard run, and I was like, and there you go. Like, they might have lost a lot, but they haven't lost him.
We were, I mean, I can't. There's more statewide games that are more going to be better than games in the mountains. Because look at these. Me and Willie was just talking about this. Listen to these games in the statewide. Covington Catholic's at Beechwood. Bowling Green's at Boyle County. Rouse at Highlands. That's a big district game. Mm-hmm. The Battle of Lexington between Catholic and LCA. Trinity and Mayo. LaSalle and Manual. X and Elder out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Frederick Douglass has got an easy game this week. Madison Central's got an easy game this week. Yeah, those first 6 really great games in the statewide. Then if like Willie said, there's 4 games that's probably going to be worth money, to go watch. Belfry Pikeville, Knox Central, Paintsville. The Maryland team against Johnson Central, and what was the other one? I forgot the other one. But what other team I was going to mention to you was Estill. What do you think about them?
I haven't seen them play yet, but they came. We had a couple teams come to the station for Pigskin preview. They came, and I really like Coach Markham. I think he's great. And they seemed really excited. They got really screwed last year because of COVID. I think they only got to play like 3, 4, maybe 5 games. So they were really looking to like a full schedule, and they've done well so far. So that's definitely a team I'm rooting for. One team that I'm kind of worried about, which you're going to probably say I'm crazy for this, is Corbin. They start 0-4, and I'm like, oh no, I'm kind of worried about them. Because my reasoning is I'm worried, and someone actually mentioned this to me on Friday, and I kind of was like, I think you're right. One thing that me and Dakota Patterson and Trevion Longmire talked about preseason, because I went there, hung out with them for a little bit, and I said, listen, this is one thing that Pikeville talked about, and this is one thing I want to say to you guys. You've got talent, you've got the means, you've got everything to make it happen this year. But the last thing that y'all need is to get a big head. Because the second you get a big head, it's over. Because you're going to have some team, some off-the-cuff team that you're like, this is easy. Like Tennessee versus Georgia State, easy win, right? And then they're going to come out behind you and get a win.
And I'm sorry, Pittsburgh, they slide right in there. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Did you lose? Oh my God! You lost yesterday. That's so
Both
bad.
my Tennessee teams lost this weekend. It's terrible.
Wait,
so anyway,
Kentucky won. What? Kentucky won? Oh, Tennessee lost and Kentucky won.
I know.
Let's throw a party. I mean,
they're happy and I'm sad. But anyway, so that's what we talked about. I was like, y'all got to stay level-headed, and Pikeville did a really good job. All of them, Zach, Isaac, and Landon Hammock, and even Coach, they all did a great job whenever we talked that they admitted that they got a huge head before that Hazard game, and that's what killed them. They were like, it's Hazard, we've beat them how many every years in a row, it's a throwaway game. And I told Corbin, I told Trey, and I told Dakota, I was like, don't do that. And they even admitted to me too. They said, we did that once or twice last year. So what I'm saying is the only thing I'm worried about is it's not like their schedule gets easy. They still have Simon Kenton. They have Knox Central, which is always a good game. Lincoln County, Wayne County. It's not like it's easy, but it's not Cubcats, St. X, LCA. I'm worried they're going to get on this cruise control and we get to playoffs and then be like, oh, wait, I have to try again? Wait, I need to try? Like, what's that like? I haven't done that in a couple weeks.
I have one question about Corbin that I'm going to Willie take over.
Yes.
What's wrong with the Combs kid? I know Mills is a good quarterback, and I understand that. But why ain't Combs been playing quarterback for Corbin?
I think he played last year. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, but where's he at this year? He's only a sophomore.
Has he not played?
No, Mills has been playing quarterback. Every highlight I saw, Mills has been the quarterback. I mean,
see, I haven't seen Corbin play. The only thing I've ever seen of them is highlights. Hopefully, I'll see them play this Friday, but who really knows? I couldn't answer the question. I thought Combs was. That's why I was like, wait, he's not.
I've seen 2 different sets of highlights, and Mills has been the quarterback.
Interesting. Maybe it was just like a trick play or something. Who knows?
You'll have to investigate that. Okay, Willie, hop in there.
So, how's life without me? Is it good? Is it better now?
It's awful. It's excruciating.
Oh man. So I was looking at this. We had Dudley on earlier. We had Jason Chappell. We had Pineville on. Bell County football this year in the 3 schools in the county are really good. What are realistically Middlesboro? What are their chances of making a run? Because I think a lot of people thought if it's going to be 2A this half of the state, it's going to be Breathitt. Now Breathitt has had injuries, and obviously that hurts. But you look at Middlesboro and they kind of handed it to Williamsburg a little bit, which not a lot of teams expect. Not a lot of people expected. And you even thought maybe like a Shelby Valley, Russ getting a year older, West Carter losing their seniors. But it's been Middlesbrough who's been the class of 2A so far on the top of the state. Do they have a legitimate shot at a semifinal bid, maybe a region final bid, if they keep things going?
See, that's what I said to Randy White. I don't know if you know Randy, CJ, but me and Willie know him really well. I was kind of disappointed in Shelby Valley when I watched them play, just because me and Willie love Russ. We've seen him play 1,000 times. He's great. And then I went and saw them lose against Letcher in their first game, and they just looked so out of shape. And I kind of was like, I had higher hopes for them. Like he's kind of saying, we thought maybe Valley, they would have their year here soon to kind of make a run. Same thing with Breathitt. We've thought about Breathitt for the last couple of years. When's their run? We know it's coming. They're so close getting over that hump. Middlesbrough legit came out of left field. When I saw that Williamsburg score, I was like, what the heck? Like, are we sure that's right? Like, my only issue with them, and this is my same issue with Breathitt, and me and CJ had talked about this. If they can't get there, it's because their strength of schedule. Because here's who they have next. Harlan, W. Breathitt County might be a good game. Leslie County, sorry, CJ, W.
I know.
County,
that's okay.
W.
I can handle bad news because I know my Eagles are we're going to get there eventually. We're going to get there eventually. But it's going to take some time. Baby steps. We won a game this week.
I know.
One game at a time.
I'm excited for y'all.
One game at a time.
So not Central, W, Pineville, more than likely a W. I mean, they play no one. And me and Willie have talked about this 1,000 times. Some Mountain head coaches get it and some don't. If you want to play at that level and you want to be at that level, then you have to schedule those teams. You've got to schedule the LCA, the Covington Catholic, the St. X. I mean, the big dogs. Even if you know that you're not there, it doesn't matter. To get better, you have to play at that level. So if Middlesbrough gets there and can't get over the hump or gets close, that's why. It's because they're going to steamroll these teams and not play anyone that they're going to face later on.
So that's the interesting thing I find with Belfry is I don't think Haywood cares about starting season 0-4, 0-5. Similar to Trinity, right? Trinity's 0-4, but Trinity's played 4 programs that are state title contenders, probably win a state championship in their respective states. Mm-hmm. And then they come back and they beat the crap out of everybody in Kentucky every year. So, like, does Haywood care that they're getting something by Covington Catholic? Probably not. But it's also alarming when you have such a young team. You have Isaac at quarterback versus you look at a Middlesbrough, even a Betsy Lane who started 4-0. And it's like, that's great. You start off the season strong, but is it gonna last if you're not playing, Pinewood? No, like we talked about earlier with Johnson Central. Nobody wants to play Johnson Central. Johnson Central has to go out of state to get good teams to come and play them. Same thing with Pinewood. Nobody wants to play these schools because they know that level of competition. And so they're like, all right, we don't care. We're going to travel. Our school is going to be willing to do that. Even you look at Williamsburg. Williamsburg has played LCA and Somerset in the past couple of years and things like that. Like, can your strength of schedule be good enough so when you get to the end, you're going to win? That's the thing.
And that's one thing that Jerry Heron said to me before the season. I was like, oh, what's y'all's opener? Just, we're just making small talk. And he said, what was it? Some private school. And he was like, I'm playing the private schools because I've learned by now when we get to that point, that state semi point, we're playing private schools and we need to know what that looks like. And I'm like, yes, see, you get it. And that's my thing with Betsy Lane. I'm so excited that they're 4-0. I'm so excited for those kids because when I did a story on Chase Mims being player of the week, they had gone like 6 and like 22 for the last 4 years or something crazy. I mean, they literally don't know what it's like to win there. And I'm really excited for them. But again, I mean, who they play on Friday? Jenkins. Like
Betsy Lane plays Knock County.
Yeah.
Knock County at Betsy Lane.
So that's why it's just like, it kills me because some teams get it. Some head coaches get it. You got to play big to be big. And then others don't. So.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see Lawrence and Belfry will be I think so. I remember last year. I think it's 2002 the last time Lawrence beat Belfry at all. So it's been 19 years of the same beating that's everybody's pretty much got in that district. No offense to anybody in that district, but it's just another level. Like, is Lawrence good enough to actually win the district? Because then if you get to that level, I mean, that puts you at the final 8. That gives you a legitimate shot to win the state title.
I agree. Someone said to me the other day, they said, everyone thinks it's Belfry's district, it's Belfry's district, it's Belfry's district. But this year, I'm not counting out Lawrence. And I agree. I'm not counting out Lawrence either. But what does Philip Haywood always say? His goal is not to win football games. It's to get a little better each day. And that's what they're trying to do these first 5 weeks.
I think we heard that tonight. We heard that from Dudley. And that would be the only 2 400-win coaches. So when they speak, you better be listening because there's going to be a lot coming your way. I mean, they might be 0-4 right now, but by the end of the season, they're going to be 500 because they ain't going to lose another game the rest of the way. I think they're going to play Pikeville's tails off Friday night.
Oh yeah, it's a rivalry game. Yeah, I mean that's going to bring out the best in you. You don't. And to be honest, when's the last time they beat them 2 in a row, which is the first time since 99-2000 season? When's the last time Pikeville beat Belfry 3 times in a row?
Ooh,
you
that's
might
a
be
Brian
going back.
question right there.
You might be going back pretty far to find. And not only that, when's the last time they beat them twice in a row at Pond Creek? Because they beat them back in 2019. Like, it's just all that implications, all the stuff that you're gonna have to hear within the county, pretty much. You can both, like, if Belfry and Pikeville both will go on and win state championships, and Pikeville will still have that edge over them because they beat them at Pond Creek. That game means a lot to me to see.
Absolutely.
Well, are we bothering your bedtime? Because what's your bedtime? Because we don't want to interfere with that.
Oh no, I'm good. I am. By
I know Wille is. Willie stays up probably 1, 2 o'clock in the morning.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
I used to. Now I'm like 10:30, 11.
Okay,
I gotta get up early.
I kind of have a funny story for you guys. So, and this is something I wanted to talk about today. So, we went to brunch today. By we, I mean me, Dakota, Jade, who you haven't met yet, CJ, Courtney, Jordan, one of our producers, and Evan Weather. And we're on our way, and I'm just like, guys, don't judge me for asking this, but I just need to know because I've heard it 1,000 times and I don't know what this means. And I was like, what does it mean when you run the option? And they all start laughing and they're like, I have no idea. Every single person in the car is like, I have no idea what it's like to run. Like, I don't know what that means. And so I was like, okay, what'd you say?
Don't you watch Belfry football? I mean, Belfry runs the option all the time.
Well, I hear, Belfry runs the option, but I'm like, what does that mean? What is the option? I don't know what that means. I enlisted Twitter and tweeted it out and got a bajillion responses, and it turns out that Belfry does run the option, and now I know what that means. But I got so many DMs of people being like, I'm not trying, I really am being genuine. Like, I actually would love to know what that means. I never got to play football. I don't know what all the plays are. And I got this mile-long message from one dude that was like, okay, there's 7 different options of 7 different varieties of the option. The most prevalent right now is called PRO, run pass option. Thank you. I'm glad that there are people that are like, okay, yes, she's a sports reporter. She never played football. And they're not being mean to me because I'm asking something I don't know. I'm like, I appreciate that. So anyways, I just thought you guys would think that was funny.
That was hilarious. That is, I will be able to sleep better tonight that I've heard that story. Because I thought all sports reporters knew what the option was.
Not this one, baby.
Nah. I'm gonna have to have a lesson with you on plays.
Absolutely.
Because
and that's what I need. I need a coach to sit me down with a playbook and be like, okay.
Well, we'll show you.
Is what it,
we'll take care of you. We'll take care of you.
I would have loved to play football growing up. It just was never an option. So I never got to actually know, spread offense and all this stuff. Like I hear it 1,000 times. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
You know what?
And Willie was always so good. I would ask him, Willie.
We got several girls playing football. We got several girls in the mountains playing football. I think Knox Central have one. Hazard has a girl kicker. Two. Knox Central has
two. Hazard's got one. Middlesboro's got one. There's a bunch.
Yeah. So I mean, girls are allowed to play. And they can play just as good as the boys.
Absolutely.
The Hazard kicker. Hey, that Hazard kicker, she's pretty good. She's pretty good. She's not bad.
She's cool.
Not bad. One more question, and I'm going to let you go. What was your thoughts on Kentucky last night? And then I'll let you get out of here.
That was the first Kentucky game I had been to since Kentucky, Tennessee in 2019, where Willie so graciously let me go. And Tennessee won. And it was really funny because after that game, Tom Neely, who works for UK, I was like, hey, Tom, like after the game. And he was like, oh, Camille, tough loss. And I was like, yeah, tough loss. And then I was like, I didn't want to show him that. I'm there for Kentucky, but inside I was really happy. But anyways, this game, I thought Kentucky looked really good. I mean, seriously, Will Levis is the real deal. Willie, I think you might be taller than Wandale Robinson. He is.
He's not big.
There we go.
He's not big, but he's close.
5'7", 5'6". I mean, the man looks like a midget sitting to everybody else. It's crazy. I missed most of the third half because I was having laptop issues and had to send stuff back. So I really didn't see. I got like halfway through the third. I mean, I think my biggest takeaway, which I think a lot of people's, is Chris Rodriguez was incredible. Will Levis is the real deal. I'm excited for him. Excited for Liam. I'm kind of disappointed in the defense because I feel like for the last 7 months or whatever, we've hyped up the defense. They've got a huge veteran squad. And for them to allow as many points as they did, I was kind of like, I think they should be better. And you could tell Eddie Grand was pissed, and they were pissed at them. I mean, J.J. Weaver made that huge sack, the game-winning sack, which was great. And we even asked Stoops about that in the news conference. And he was like, oh, is that who got the sack? And we were like, yeah. And he was like, well, we loaded that side, so he really shouldn't get credit for it. It was anybody's sack. We were all like dying laughing. We thought it was funny. But yeah, that defense needs to improve. Turnovers need to improve, and they just need to clean up some stuff. But other than that, I mean, I think they should have been ranked. I think a lot of people think they should have been ranked. So yeah,
the other thing I thought Kentucky was bad at last night was special teams. I thought they need to clean it up really big. Besides that, I mean, it was okay. Well, Willie, I'm gonna let you say your final farewell to Miss Camille, and then we'll get her out of here.
Oh, please. She's going to call me if she needs anything anyway, so it's not really
I literally texted CJ like once a day about just random stuff. I'm like, oh my God, listen to this, or here's this, or whatever. He's probably like, God, lose my phone number.
Well, I don't have Willie's new phone number, so I can't call him. So.
You gotta get
I only get a hold of him on Messenger. So.
Camille, you got to
text
share
him as much as I do.
Share with, because I keep forgetting, like, I couldn't even, there were messages I couldn't even respond to because I don't have that phone anymore. It's like even that night and like that Saturday, like I was like, if somebody texted me on that phone, like I didn't have a chance to like give out anything. It was like, nope, 6 o'clock, the phone was gone.
Yeah.
Oh man, here, see, obviously I'm gonna message it to you real quick. I was gonna say it on the airwaves, but I was like, it's probably not a great idea.
No, let's still give your phone. Let's still give your number to everybody. We'll do it privately.
Hopefully, I'll be seeing Willie in about 3 weeks. It's our friend Will Puckett's wedding, so we should be seeing him soon.
Oh, that'll be fun.
We'll have a little WYMT reunion.
Next week, it's going to be you and Courtney, so looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Both of you we'll go over week 5 and get ready for week 6. Well, actually, probably some call this week 4. I call it week 5. I don't know what. No, so.
Week 5.
But we will see you and Miss Courtney on Sunday night. And you be safe for the week. And I'll talk to you down the road.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay. Lovely. We like it when Miss Camille, she's in a good mood tonight. That's she loves it when Willie's around. Willie really helps her out a lot. And I'm glad you still help her out some. That's good. Let me go over a few side notes. I'm going to let you give your final thoughts, and then we'll get out of here. I want to thank all our guests. Jason, yeah, he's awesome. Dudley was unbelievable. Did not hear that interview. You need to come back and watch his show because really, that was a really great interview. Ryan just texted me, said he got busy, and he apologized. I said, you don't need to apologize. We'll get to it next week. So Ryan will be with me next week. Want to thank Camille. Always want to thank her because she's very graceful, great person, just a good friend, and I enjoy her time with her because it's really fun. Want to thank the people that left comments. I want to thank people that watched. We didn't get any phone calls tonight because the phone line was messed up because of the internet, but we'll get to our phone calls next week. Also want to remind everybody, go to my YouTube channel. I need you to go over and subscribe. Push the subscribe button. Give me some subscribes. I need to get to 1,000 subscribes so I can do a lot more stuff live. Then eventually I can sell merchandise and make some extra money that I could use. So help me out there if you can get over there. Tell your friends. Tell everybody about that. Help me get that if you can get there. I'll be back with you Wednesday night with the CJ High School Football Report, Week 5 of picks and rankings. I believe that the RPIs come out this week. I'm not for sure. I know it's either this week or next week that the first edition of the RPIs come out. So we'll be looking forward to those when they come out because that's going to give us a pretty good idea of what everybody is as far as playoffs. Because district play don't really affect it a whole lot, but it does some. But we'll be looking for that. Then I'll be back with you Sunday night. I can tell you 3 of my guests. It's going to be Ryan Lemon and Courtney and Camille. So we'll be back with you on Sunday night, September 19th, with the 7th edition of the CJ Harris Show. Willie, go ahead and give your final thoughts, and we'll get out of here.
Appreciate being back on the show. I always loved being on the show and being able to talk back and forth with you and different coaches and things like that. Brian Mullen was on here as well, but looking forward to week 5. Like I said, I'll be staying up to date with scores, watching sports overtime. Interested to see all the storylines we talked about today. Interested to see how we move forward with those and how teams kind of progress as we pretty much start coming into district play in those games that are important for seeding those first 2 weeks of the season or the postseason.
Yeah. Willie, I want to thank you so much. Do not leave me after we get off the air. I want to say something to you after we get off the air. I want to thank Willie also. Without him, what a show we had tonight, folks. And I want everybody glad to be a part of it. As I always end the show, this is CJ Harris, rounding third and heading for home. Good night, everybody. See you next Wednesday night with the Sports Report and Sunday night with 7th edition of the CJ Harris Show. Good night, everybody.